So, guys, almost half of the year 2024 is over, and the express entry draws for Canadian PR, the Canadian immigration, is far from over. Yet, we are not seeing any draws. In fact, the last draw that happened for express entry was on April 24th, 2024, which is over a month ago. So, in the last 1 month, there have been no draws for express entry. People are waiting. And about last week, I was at the National Conference of Immigration and Citizenship, which is NCIC, in Halifax, and we happened to meet the Senior Director General for IRCC, and we did speak to him in a candid, separate, very quick conversation, and we tried asking him a couple of questions based on what did the minister mean about domestic draws, what are you thinking on regional draws, why are they're so irregular draws, why aren't the draws happening, why is there so much delay. So he did share a couple of his thoughts, and also during the conference we happened to engage with a couple of people. And in this video today, we will be talking about all of these important documents, especially with regards to express entry only. The main topics that we will be covering will be domestic draws, CEC only draws, and then the regional draws. Then also we will talk about why is there a delay, what's happening with the irregularity in the draws. So guys, if you are interested in moving to Canada, then you should be watching this video up until the end. My name is Sahil, and I'll see you on the other side. So, guys, welcome back once again. My name is Sahil, and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I practice here in Ontario. My office is here. If you have to get in touch with me, my number is on the screen, and the details are there in the description box. More than happy to speak with you. Before we proceed any further, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration. And if you are an aspirant of moving to Canada, then this is a channel that you must be subscribed to all the time. So, guys, we are discussing all about express entry in the end of the month, May 2024, and it's almost June, and half of the year is over, but we are far from seeing the end of express entry draws in this particular year, at least, because as per the quotas, as per the release draws, there's still a long way to go. But still, IRCC is not conducting any draws. On the other hand, people are really anxious. Anxiety is peeking through because a lot of people are facing end of their work permits. Like PGWP holders are coming towards the end of their permits, because those people will be going in for these draws, and they could apply for a BOWP, bridging open work permit. I'm seeing across social media people with scores above 1,690. People are literally waiting, and there are questions that will there be a draw, will I be able to at least file a BOWP. And these are crazy questions, because you're not hearing them from people who have 300. You're hearing them from people who have 1,000 plus of CRS score. So guys, this only tells us that what kind of an anxiety, what kind of a stress level there is in the whole industry. Also, students in PEI, students in British Columbia, students now in Brampton are about to go on a rally. So the whole atmosphere is so tensed. But more importantly, circling back to the main topic of the day, uh, why is there so much haphazard information around the express entry draws? Now, last week I was in conversation with the senior director general of IRCC. In fact, we caught him off guard, we caught him outside, and we happened to ask him really candid questions, and he did not open too much about it, but he did talk in hints, and we would not like to quote him, we will not quote him, but I will put forward the essence of what we could sense from what he had to share. And without putting him in the spot, I would definitely share what were the whole insights that we could gather from the whole conversation. First, talking about the domestic, the CEC only draws. As hinted, is the information is that the minister, when was talking about the domestic draw, so basically he talked about how he would want to retain these people who are about to leave Canada, and he would want these domestic workers, which is basically international foreign workers, he would want them to be converted into permanent residents. Now, because the minister has made it evidently clear a couple of times that not everybody can be converted into a permanent resident, but still he does want to explore a special pathway where these domestic foreign workers can be converted into permanent residents, which means and hinted in the conversation again that the IRCC could be exploring CEC only draws towards the end of this year, and this could mean a special pathway could be a lower score as well. So last time when we saw a CEC only draw during COVID, it was a 75 CRS cutoff. It was a crazy cutoff, right? Now we are not sure if we might see a similar draw, but at least a CEC draw, only draw, could be around the corner. Parallelly, there could be a special pathway also announced, which could only accommodate so many people in specific knock codes, maybe in specific postal codes. It could be a variation of all of those. But yes, it has been strongly hinted that a domestic or CEC only draw could be around the corner. Could be a little far away, maybe towards the end of this year, because IRCC is still not done, conducting its review. But yes, something could be around. The next conversation is about regional draws. Very importantly, you need to understand is that presently IRCC is not at all happy with people flocking around GTA only, because GTA is where the maximum number of people are. The second best would be Greater Vancouver area, and then there could be Calgary, where Calgary and Edmonton. But what IRCC and what Canada wants is that people should be flowing from these epicenters towards the regional places. For example, outsides, far away from Toronto, and could be Atlantic immigration, stuff like that. So IRCC did start collecting postal codes, and this was a cause of a huge delay last year. So they have already been collecting postal codes, and they're already collecting postal codes in terms of where have you studied, where are you working, where is your employer located, and where are you presently located. A combination of all of those could result into possible research that IRCC could be doing, and they could start holding draws, maybe specific to postal codes. We might see it as a new category altogether next year. Who knows? But still, as hinted again, regional draws are being deeply explored through IRCC and could be a potential, upcoming category, or maybe some draws coming in that sense. Next, and very important, as we had gathered conversation again, was about why are there no draws and why are there so many irregular draws. So for that, the director general, he had to say is that IRCC has to look at the number of people landing in a particular year, because there are standard timelines that they have to follow. For example, 6 months of processing, and then making sure that those people land in a particular year. And then also within a year, only so many people can be landed through IRCC through express entry. So what they have to say is that maybe in the initial part of this particular year, they have already done so many draws, and including the previous year's landing numbers, that the balance of this year, right, they could be landing so many people and they would hit the quota. So in the balance of 2024, they would be conducting regular draws, as again mentioned by the senior director general. They would be conducting draws, and these numbers are based on the landings that will happen this year and the next year. So the speed of draws is not just based on how many people are to be invited, or maybe looking at the quotas in a year, but they also have to look at landing numbers. So the math involves number of people and also the landing numbers and the quotas of a particular year. All of that put together is the cause of these irregular draws. And he did mention that very soon the draws will be starting again, and there onwards we would mostly be seeing regular draws. So he was pretty confident about the regularity of the draws in the upcoming days. Now guys, the most important part of this video is what kind of draws are we going to see, like CRS. Okay, are we still going to see high CRS? Are we still, can we hope for a lower CRS cutoff draws? At this particular stage, I would like to show the current situation of the express entry pool. Now, guys, if you look at the last draw that happened was on April 24th, 2024. It was a French only draw. The general draw happened on April 23rd, which was approximately 2,095 people at a cutoff of 529. The last general draw, again, the prior to that was 549, and that was again a very high CRS. But overall, the thing to note here is that um, it has been duly noted that whenever there is a gap of draws, the CRS goes high. And also, on top of that, what IRCC would do is they would invite only a small number of people, right? Which further pushes the CRS cutoff high. Because there have been no draws in the past 1 month, I would assume that a lot of people would have filled up the top crema of the express entry pool. Hence, if IRCC still continues to hold a smaller size draw, then the cutoff, the CRS cutoff would be through the roof, like something that you would not expect. But if, as per the Senior Director General, IRCC continues to hold regular draws, then over the period of the next couple of weeks and months, we might see the express entry scores dropping. So, in my calculation and based on the quotas, because they have allocated larger quotas to the categories, almost approximately 70% and more, my assumption is that lower CRS cutoffs for general people is now no more to be seen. Sub 500, I'm not even thinking. Like below 500 general category draw, in my opinion, at least this year, I don't think so, unless IRCC holds a heavy CEC only draw. And then to forget the general category, it'll be through the roof again. So, guys, times of general draw at lower CRS cutoffs are over, as per what I can see in the current situations. So, if you really are looking forward towards the express entry draws, you should be looking at the categories more precisely. Try to get into the CEC categories at least, so that you're able to get more numbers on Canadian Experience Class, maybe an LMIA or maybe French. Adding more points. Otherwise, I think learning French is a very good option, although people find it difficult, but it is one of the good options. If not, then looking at the categories, for example, going towards STEM or human capital priorities for IT people, then transport categories, trade categories, and then the Ontario trade, all of these are good ones. So the times when general category people are on 450, 470, 480, those times are now far gone. Right now is the time to be specific to a category. You have to plan well whether you want to be in health, IT, trades, or French. Otherwise, for general people, you guys should be coming to Canada and looking at Canadian Experience Class to get more points. Well, we will have to wait for the draws to come back. The pool right now, the updated pool is as of 23rd of April, which is old. So it's hard to predict what will happen in the coming few days. But hopefully, things should be in place. Let's wait for the draws to come back to the regular speed, and then we will again convene and we'll have the discussions. Guys, I hope the information today was much helpful, gave you much insights into what's happening in the world of Canadian immigration. If you have a case to discuss with us, please feel free to schedule an appointment with us, and we would be more than happy to discuss your case. Guys, once again, we wish you all the best, and we really hope to see you soon in Canada. All the best.